Well, for most people, going to the show would not be right without sitting down with a daggery dog, a bucket of hot chips, and watching the nighttime entertainment unfold. And it gives us a great pleasure today to welcome a lady who's been behind the scenes for a lot of years with the Sydney Royal Easter Show, Lynelle Smith. Lynelle, welcome to Sydney Show Withdrawals.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Lindsay. It's great to be with you guys. I've been watching your program now for the last 6 days, so it's great to be part of it on our biggest day being Day 7, Good Friday.
And a man who proposed to his wife in the main arena. He started as a young man out of Canberra, a water skier, today known as the ShowTime FMX coordinator, owner, operator, and man with a golden voice. It is Gary Reid, mate. Welcome to you too.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's a bit surreal here to be up on the Gold Coast on Good Friday and not be in Sydney. So happy to be having a chat with you guys. I guess it's the closest thing we're going to get to it.
Well, these guys are really where the magic happens, where the huge crowds come together and the kids get super engaged with what's going on in front of them. But I want to kind of find out how they got involved. Lynelle, let's start with you. What was your first Sydney Royal Easter show?
So that would have been, and now I'm going to show my age. That was 46 years ago when I was 6 years of age, riding in my first girl rider, 6 years and under 9 at Moore Park. So I've been part of the institution for a long, long time. So competing till I was 15, then working when I was from 84 and then started full-time work in 1986 in the horse section. So I've been there for a long time.
Lynelle, in your wildest dreams, do you ever believe the show could have been postponed for a year?
Not at all. Like we've been through a lot of things, and I never thought that the show would ever be postponed at all cancelled. Yeah.
Gary, we're going to move to your section of the nighttime and lunchtime entertainment so that people can get a sense of what you do. Could you do a bit of a fake announce right now for an event that we'd have to imagine in our brains?
Yeah, for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome out to the main arena here. It's Good Friday at the Royal Easter Show. And one simple question is, who'd like to see some freestyle motocross? That's right, folks. Coming up now is the ShowTime Freestyle Motocross team featuring Brad Birch, Kane Saul, and Robbie Marshall. There you go. Bit out of practice. I've been sitting around for a couple of weeks.
Gary, there's a line that you always say at the end when you're standing up on the truck. The boys are going to do one more jump and you put your hand up. Can you give us that line as well?
Yeah, that's a pretty easy one, definitely on Good Friday, because it's a packed grandstand. It's the best show to be at on a Good Friday. So it's it's pretty simple. It's hey Sydney, would you like to see it one more time? And how about you make some noise for the boys? There it is. Didn't get any tears in my little dungeon here, but yeah. So yeah, good times, but sad times, as I said, not to be there. But we'll be back next year.
Most sure will be. Hey, Lynelle, you have the title for the last 34 years, I believe, of Head of Entertainment. What does that involve?
Well, actually, it's an acronym, and I don't know if you guys know, but it's HO. I'm the HO of the show. Head of Entertainment. So if you hear two-way calls, they talk about to the HO, that's me. I've been Head of Entertainment now since 2013, so it's been a while, and it's great. I get to work with some fantastic people, some like the show family like Gaz, and there's Scotty with the cars, and there's the Howard boys with the fireworks, Keith from Showtime Attractions. I'm fortunate enough that I've got such a fantastic extended show family to be able to put on the show that we want. Like I come up with some crazy ideas and I'll go, guys, hey, what about this? And I go, yeah, okay, let's make it work. And with this, because we've all got creative minds, we come together and just culminate together and put on a great show.
Lynelle, what has been probably your most loved show that you've put together?
Oh, right, okay. I've got many. I think Man from Snowy River for us was fantastic. Followed by, so that was my first time as Head of Entertainment, was in 2004. 2005 and 2006, we did Extreme Corruption with Gary and the boys, and jumps and everything. We really pushed the barrow, and proud to say that we won an international award, being the runner-up in the Big E Extreme Sports Show. So that was a fantastic accolade for us internationally. I think we've just grown to shows and that. Last couple of years, we've done the Easter Show Spectacular, which has been fun. It's hard for me to pinpoint because I've got so many favourites. And working with everybody, it's we took fireworks to a different level with the colours of the Outback Pirate Musical, with a live band playing with the fireworks. Once again, that was a creation by Andrew Howard and the team. So we've done quite a bit, haven't we, Gary?
Yeah, it's been really good. There's been a lot over the years. For me, from my point of view, the Memphis Day River was absolutely huge. It is everything that is horses. You hear that soundtrack in that arena and see all those horses ride around, and it's absolutely incredible. Even for motorbike guys, we all like that show. And for us personally, it's probably the Battle of the Golden Helmet for me, which was a few years ago, where I handed the reins of the microphone over to Tommy G, the MC, a while ago, just to pursue other business interests. So it got me back performing at the show, actually driving one of our youths from Movie World here on the Gold Coast. So for me, the Battle of the Golden Helmet, we had 4 riders, we had 2 youths, and it was a really good time. We had a big merchandise set up and an autograph meet and greet set up, and it was probably our favourite event, obviously second to the one that I proposed to my wife on, but that was one night, not 14 days straight. So, but yeah, they're probably the 2 that stand out for me.
Gary, you've taken ShowTime FMX and you started with a pile of dirt down there at Canberra Royal. You've revolutionised freestyle motocross. Mate, tell us, how did it all come about and how have you now made it into a sustainable business that's been running for 20 plus years?
Yeah, for us, I just returned from America. I was a professional water skier over there performing at SeaWorld parks over there, and I was asked by the ringmaster of the Canberra show if I had any entertainment ideas, and I said, yeah, fill the arena with water and we could do a water ski show, and just as a joke. And then I started thinking, I was riding dirt bikes with a couple of guys in Sydney just socially, and a few of them were doing some really big jumps, and it was right as freestyle started, so they were doing a few tricks, and yeah, we made 3 mounds of dirt in the middle of the arena and went down there and we performed the first time on the Friday afternoon, and we had the guys from the ECA come up to us Friday night and tell us they wanted it, and they said they couldn't have dirt at their arena, and I sort of, as a young sort of 20-something-year-old, I lied a little bit and told them we'd already started building a set of ramps and they'd be finished by the ECA, so they said no worries, give us a price, and then they, a day later they booked us. So frantically we all got together and we built the world's first fully portable set of freestyle motocross ramps, and we headed to the ECA. And that first year we performed 14 days across the year of different shows, 3 different shows across Australia. And our busiest year to date was 122 days of shows across Australia. So, and now the teams, we were full-time theme park shows up here on the Gold Coast, and I think for us, we never lost sight, and especially credit to the riders. We've had a long history with the team we've got. We never lost sight of entertaining the crowd. My goal is to entertain the crowd. It's not necessarily they're all freestyle motocross fans. They're fans of entertainment. So a lot of people, you get young kids and fans of dirt bikes come up and say, oh, you should go for an hour and you need to do more backflips in your show. But for us, it's appealing to the whole crowd. We want to appeal to everyone. Even if you're not a motorbike fan, we sort of challenge you to sit down and say you didn't like the show for at least 15 minutes that we performed. So I think that with a really good attitude of our riders, Robbie Kane and Birchie and Steve Minnie from back in the day, Ben Jones originally. We've only had probably a handful of, I'd say 7 to 8 guys that have performed across the 21 years that have really made a big difference. All our riders that are with us now have been with us for over 10 years, so they're household names at the Royal Easter Show and part of the ShowTime family. So I guess it's just that, some tough times upon us right now, but as Lynelle mentioned, we'll be back. The show will be back next year. Everyone will be back, and this is just a little bump in the highway. And I think it shows how everyone's pulled together as a community to get through what we're going through. So I really feel when everyone comes back from it, we're really going to see a community spirit, and the events are actually going to be bigger and better than they've ever been.
Speaking of bigger and better than ever, we're only a couple of years away from the 200th Sydney Royal Easter Show. Lynelle, has your brain started thinking about that? I know you're probably doing a lot of crisis management at the moment, but have you got any ideas in store for that big celebration?
Most definitely. We've been working on this now for 2 years for the 2022 show. So we're actually working 18 months ahead, but we've actually got a project group and planning. So it's this show and 2021, we're actually going to be, I class as a 2-year dress rehearsal for 2022. So we're introducing new acts and everything. So this year we're going to have the beautiful 17-horse Clydesdale team, the Brillen and the Bandy and Johnson's Clydesdale team that I saw down at Brillen working field days back in October. That was 17. I know they could go in 23s. I actually saw them in a 30-horse hit team. Seeing that in action, going back to our rural time and what the show was all about back then, that's what we're gradually building up towards. So you're going to have to wait till next year to see our first year of the dress rehearsal for the 2022 show. So yeah, we've just been building up a whole lot of stuff. We'll be bringing back a lot of acts that haven't been seen before. There's acts that I saw at Moore Park that we're actually recreating again to bring back to the show. So we'll be going through the history of the show and the show movement.
Lynelle, I want to test your memory for a moment, because one of my first memories of the show is when you did Batman Forever at Moore Park. Do you remember what year that was by chance?
Batman would have been 1995 or 96.
Okay, so later than I thought. Those sort of acts and those sort of impacts that you have on people, like people talk still about the Man or about Batman or about the Flying Golems. Do you realise the impact you have on these?
Robosaurus.
I've got so many stories to tell you about Robosaurus. The last time they were here, poor Gary was with me at the time. There's a long story. There was at that time in 2010 with Robosaurus coming over, he landed, by ship. Well, at that time, America had a bug and that was growing in sand. So we're talking about a robot here, which has sand in all its mechanicals. It wasn't allowed off the ship. It wasn't allowed to dock. We had 3 choices. The one was either put it back on the ship and send it back. It was going to be buried at sea, or it's just going to be crushed up metal. And I've got this huge international act that's just coming over. So lucky my team, we've all come together. They spent 4 days steam cleaning that machine to get all the sand, but we're talking about a robot here. So when we got it to the show, had to put it all the grease and everything, going cross fingers, going, oh, I hope this thing will start again. It started, and then I was actually fortunate with my job. I get to do some fun things. I was actually in the head of Robosaurus when we came out our first rehearsal. We came around, turned right, started going. What happened? It bogged. It bogged right into the crack. So we're there and I've gone, can anything get worse with this Robosaurus thing? So throughout that time, the ground crew, God love them, they worked day and night for 7 days to make the track hard so we could actually get, for day one, get this Robosaurus through. So Robosaurus is a fantastic act, but I've got nightmares with that act for sure, with what we had to go
here.
Yeah, it was.
That leads me to a question for you, Gary. Is there ever been a show where you just wish never happened? Could we erase the histories? Is there a memory where you think, man, I wish that didn't happen to us?
No, not really. I think for us, obviously the thing for us is always, from obviously the first thing that comes to mind is injury. Touch wood, we haven't had too many. It goes with the sport. Our guys are full trained professionals, so we don't have too many injuries. I think one of the worst ones was Steve Minnie one year broke his leg, just was trying to impress a girl and went a little bit too hard and came down on one of his signature turn down tricks and landed a bit short and broke his leg and spent some time in hospital. So obviously there's those ones that you wish didn't happen. From a show point of view, especially with the Royal Easter Show, as Lynelle just said with Robosaurus, a lot of other people I'd find would just turn around and say, send it back. You've got a show to put on. It's not every day. You've got 14 days and it's happening and it's starting in a week or 5 days or 6 days time. So everyone has to pull together. And I think Lynelle will even, I guess, back me up on this. There's been times when all the best plans have gone into the show and we've got there in the first rehearsal and things just don't seem to happen the way they were meant to happen. And And that's when everyone stays calm. And as Lynelle said, she's got a great team behind her, and I'm lucky enough to be part of that team, along with Andrew Howard and Scotty and a bunch of the groundsmen. And you just get in a room and you grab everything you've got and say, okay, well, that didn't work exactly. What do we have to do to make it work? And some of the incredible things you've seen turned around at the show is that's what makes the show. It is the best Royal show. You know, I remember we had Darcy, a big puppet one year, and in the original meeting we were told that Darcy was going to be a crane and walk really fast around the arena, and I just couldn't see it happening. And the script said it had happened, and on the first night it did. You know, rehearsals, unfortunately, it didn't happen. But everyone got together and changed the script a bit. Now, it was actually probably a better show than was originally planned, you know, because the crane drivers and all the entertainers and everyone did a little bit extra, and it really come along. So as far as a show that I'd like to forget, I don't think there has been one, because the ones you want to forget are the ones that end up probably the best, because it gets that camaraderie when everyone just sits down and pulls together, and there's no egos, there's no you're being paid more than me, there's not enough budget. Once we're there, we're there. We've got a truck full of bikes, a workshop full of toys. So, you know, we're there to put on a show, and everyone's got that attitude when it comes to the entertainment on the main arena.
Gaz, quick fire question for you. 3 parts. Your perfect show day, other than announcing at Sydney Royal, what does it involve?
What does it involve?
What 3 things does it involve?
Our team performing the best they can, a full stadium, and sitting up in the broadcast box, watching it with Lynelle and the rest of the team, and the smile on everyone's face when the fireworks go off on the Good Friday or Easter Saturday, or any night for that fact, of and you know you've put on a perfect show.
And Lynelle, for factors that make a perfect day at the show for you?
I would have to say fine weather, because behind the scenes when we get rain, it's you know, we've got a choreographed show, but all of a sudden if the skies open up, we actually have to go on the fly and produce the show. People don't know what we've done, and we've changed things. I'm always talking to Gary's ear doing something, or talking to, you know, the guy in the hot air balloon going up and down saying, mate, you need to go up a bit more. I think by now, Good Friday, I'm teetering. It's been a long time, because we've already done 7 days. So my best thing is I said, I'm fortunate. Usually on this day, I'm in the car with Dave Shannon doing laps around in the main arena. So, or was in the monster truck, or the stadium truck with Jack Monkhouse jumping over things. So it relieves tension. I think the finale is, and I get very emotional every night with the fireworks, with it happening. But when the last cracker goes off and the grandstand cheers, and the roar, as you all know what the roar's like in the show, it's kind of go, shit, damn, we've got this. It has been a great show. And then seeing people walk out with a big smile on their face saying, God, we've had a great show.
Been so wonderful. Thanks, guys, for taking some time out of your day to fit us in and have a catch up. We can't wait to see you in 2021. Can't even begin to imagine what it's going to be like, because I know, Gary, your guys are going to be chomping at the bit to get out there, and Lynelle, your brain is always going a million miles an hour. Enjoy Easter, guys. Feels weird, doesn't it? We've got Easter and we're all at home.
Well, would you believe this is the first Easter that I've had for 46 years? I don't know what an Easter is like, because I've never been home. I'm always at the Easter show. And Courtney, who was, you know, I was 7 months pregnant with Courtney, my daughter, in 1998, our first show. She's never had an Easter egg hunt. So Sunday, I'm planning an Easter egg hunt for her and I. So it's going to be quite interesting, because we just don't know what Easter's like. Yeah, I'm missing everybody. You know, missing you guys, missing Gary and all the boys and all the performers. Yeah, it'll be strange having an Easter.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, Tim. Just echoing that. Yeah, to everyone, happy Easter to everyone. And as I said, I'm sure that the country will bounce back from this, and especially the Royal Easter Show will bounce back, and the community will bounce back. And next year's going to be even bigger and better than we had planned for this year. It's next year's ideas, and we'll bring a few ideas from this year, and we'll nail it and get ready for 2022.
Make sure you're at the Sydney Royal Easter Show in 2021. From the entertainment team, Lynelle Smith, she is the hoe of the show, head of entertainment. I'm going to live on that one forever, Lynelle. Thank you.
I know, it's okay. Look,
I never knew that either. I'm going to change it in my phone right now. I'm going to change. Host of the show calling.
It's a great one, guys. Thanks for a laugh, and look forward to seeing you again soon.